That's why I go, and all I get from you is fun. Don't you give me that other junk. Now why do you try so hard? Could you leave it all behind? Would you be lost without it? I once had a love, sweet as could be, but all that ever got me was drunk. Hell, believe me when I say it is. Why do you try so hard when it's easy? Open wide, wide open, open wide. If it feels good, it feels good. But if it hurts you, then it probably should. Could you leave it all behind? Would you be lost without it? Well, it's easy. Now what I get from you, could you leave it all behind? Would you be lost without it? Could you leave it all behind? Would you be lost without it? Well, it's easy. Mama, let it slide. Open wide. Oh, good to be gone. Staring on and on and on and on.
The shadow Praetorian. Well, if that's not technical difficulties, I'm not quite sure what would be considered such. Welcome everybody that has swung by today. Welcome one and all. Welcome friends, Romans, countrymen. Welcome enemies. Welcome those of you that like me, dislike me, are indifferent to me, and are otherwise disposed to have ideas and opinions of one's own. I'm so glad that y'all are here today. I did what I did in the beginning there. I don't know. For my own strange reasons. One of them is this. If I play some music before the stream that I know is a little bit questionable, a lot of the times they just block it worldwide. And so there's a good chance that you hear Will Fisher, Fugi, what's that? I got a new one, Mr. Ghost. All of you all out there, Harry Balzac, everybody that showed up, Welsmere Stories. It's a very good possibility that this will be the only time you hear this, or will be able to hear this. I don't know if they'll block it worldwide or not, but Bill Hicks was correct. Bill Hicks said in a comedy skit that anyone that would sell Doritos or Coca-Cola was forever taken off the artistic rolls, regardless of whether or not they could shit Mona Lisas on cue. The adpocalypse has been a good thing. Oh, well, Ogre, that's easy for you to say, you pompous, bearded, fat motherfucker. That's real easy for you to say, sitting up there with your fucking guitars on the wall and your Mr. I don't need to work, pompous prick. Well, maybe I can grant you that one, but I'm going to tell you this. The adpocalypse was a good thing because it made it easy for brilliant, wonderful folks. Some not so much. I mean, there's some people we could all agree on that, you know, they put on lipstick and they get 10 trillion views and they're making fucking god-awful motherfucking money. By the way, happy Samhain, everybody. Happy Halloween. All Hallows Eve. Happy All Saints Day. However you may look at it. Happy that to you and yours. May you go out, culturally appropriate a costume, get so swinishly drunk that you make love with people you never met, and wake up tomorrow with the one you truly love. Well, so loud. Let me get back to this. There's no way around it. Bill Hicks was correct. Anyone that would shill a Coca-Cola, a Pepsi-Cola, or a sack of Doritos is forever taken off the artistic rolls. Boom! Forthwith. Immediately. Now. Gone. And what this has done, what this adpocalypse has done, because there was people that in my mind, they really were off the list. They had the ads on. It took me a second. If you notice, you can do a super chat. I'm not promoting it, whatever. It's totally up to you. Who gives a fuck? But if you notice, I have a super chat on. That is you. That is your ability to say, fucking Ogre, look at this stupid son of a bitch. I'm going to throw him $5 because he's a moron. Look at the Ogre. I'm going to throw him $2 just to be like, hey, you fucking busker, you're worth $2. Whatever it may be. And that's fine. That is between you and I. I see people out here now. Will Fisher was our first Patreon. Let's say Patreon, but he was our first super chatter. I mean, it happens. And we appreciate that. But I have to say, until I figured out how to get to the point where I could say no ads before the video, no ads in the middle of the fucking video, and no motherfucking ads. Take your ads and stuff them. The Britisher, I can speak for him on this one. We got one thing to say, the Britisher and I, you know what? I'm throwing the common sense guy in this too. We got one thing to say to y'all that want to pay, that suck our you-know-what. We got no time. We don't want, the only people that we ever want to see any kind of monetary support come our way from. And look, I don't want to, maybe this sounds high and mighty, highfalutin, high class, posh, pompous, priggish. I don't know. I'm not trying to sound that way, to each their own, of course. But once again, I completely 100% agree with Mr. Hicks. Anyone that would sell a Pepsi-Cola or a bag of Doritos is forever taken off the artistic rolls forthwith. Boom, you're gone. Doesn't matter if you shit Mona Lisa's on cue. Don't care. We don't want you. We don't need you. You are not welcome here. Go away. Doesn't matter. Beethoven, we don't give a shit. Chopin, we don't care. Da Vinci, go pound sand. If you, and what was happening with this automatic, it was so easy. You know, it's so easy. There's names in my head, but I don't really want to name anything or make connections because then people will think, oh, that, you know, the ogre's up on his soapbox. Where's the Britisher to rein the ogre in? Oh, Lord have mercy. Ah, look at Will Fisher. You daggone sly son of a bitch. I want to say it again since he's forcing me to do this. Thank you so much, Will, on behalf of a Common Sense Guy and I'm so stunned and flabbergasted I can hardly speak. And the Britisher, but I hope that everyone knows, Mr. Fisher, this money will go into the pot. Last month, we made 50 quid. Thanks to you, Will Fisher, and other folks just like you. That all goes in the pot. I'm trying to find some way because that's 50 quid after your donations. They actually take money off the top. I was naive and didn't realize they did that. Don't change your whatever it is, or don't, whatever. But they do. So I'm Jewish. I can't take Will's money, which he just donated so generously right now. I can't take this and already lose 20% and then send it in a way to Britisher that loses another 10 or 20%. So I'm just going to just take this. This is going to get downloaded. It will go into a first-class envelope, a tracked first-class envelope. I think it cost me 75 cents, and be sent to an unknown location where the Britisher doth reside, and that money will be doled out. So, hey, look, man, you got me off track here, Will. So generous of you, mate. Yeah, I think now not only are you our first person to pledge, just blatantly just give up 2 quid. Well, I don't even have my mates here. I really feel like I didn't earn it. I thank you, mate. But also you're our first to be a two-timer. Very, very much appreciated. So let me get back to this. He's making my point. Will's always astute, always intelligent, always right on the ball. I can guarantee you he's the first in the office, in the shop, on the work site, wherever he is. He's probably the first one everyone goes to and says, what do we do, Will Fisher? How do we get out of this mess? And he's the one that really just finds the way out. I can almost guarantee you that. I have a sixth sense about these things, and I can guarantee you that. So he makes my point for me because he is that man that I just spoke of. And the point is, the adpocalypse was a good thing. Brothers and sisters, the last thing that I want is to be dependent on anyone other than the Common Sense Guy, Britisher, myself, you folks, you wonderful 15 of y'all here. I listen to Lionel Nation like a religion. And yes, of course, he's got over 1,000. The man has 100,000 subs. When I see you lot here, just went up to 16, and I look at my number, it's at least comparable. I'm so honored. I'm going to get back to the Bill Hicks thing because what I'm going to do is, folks, bear with me. I'm going to give you my opinion on the Bill Hicks thing, and then I'm going to gush a little bit about badass motherfuckers like Will Fisher, about honest to God, decent folks like Captain Colepile, about real serious individuals that only care about logic and truth and don't give fuck one about your feels. It's only reals. I should have given a little disclaimer. I'm going to do my best to even now not just gratuitously use profanity, but I will say that you can't see the Britisher here or Common Sense Guy. So I'm not representing anyone but myself right now. What does that mean? That I'm a scumbag? I hope not. But it does mean that I sometimes use profanity. We got it like very Young Turks style, the Young Turk style. It's real talk, you know? I'm not even going to do it. I was going to do the Shank Jägermeister, but I don't want to run anybody off. And God's sake, I mean, Will just paid me to act like I have some kind of fucking sense. And so, I'm going to honor that. Bill Hicks was correct. The adpocalypse was a good thing. It was a good thing because the way it went about, people that really shouldn't be sucking Satan's cock They don't know. They was Satan was like pulled a Harvey Weinstein on them, and they Weinstein, whatever it is, whatever the fuck, the Harvey the founder. He pulled one of those where he says, "Oh, you know, no big deal. I'm the devil. Just come on." The next day, no, and they didn't mean, they didn't want it, they didn't expect it, they didn't condone it. But they found themselves before they knew it with a gigantic scaly phallus in a boca, in their mouth. This has been a wonderful thing. Does it make it harder for the common sense guy? Yeah. Fuck yeah. Does it make it harder on the ogre? Yes. Does it make it harder on our wonderful benevolent leader, the Britisher? God's sake. It's hell. I mean, we wish that it was like the good old days where there wasn't algorithms working against us, and good Lord knows Britisher would probably have 500,000 subs by now. I would have a few thousand. The common sense guy would have a few thousand, and we'd all be making a couple grand a month from just ads. But I say again, thank goodness. For one thing, I think deeper about shit like that. I'm telling you, I was up nights trying. I finally found it, how to just turn that shit off. I had some of you great folks coming by and going, "Hey, Ogre, what good," all of you, what excellent people. Because I had folks, the same folks that come by and tell me I talk too fucking much, and how did a stupid bearded faggot get on and with the Britisher and common sense guy when I don't fit in, and I just should thank my lucky stars that I'm even there, because God knows I could not have done anything to earn it, or do I deserve to be around these folks? Those same people came and told me, "Hey, we noticed that you got this fucking advertisement on there." It was because I'm turning on the Will Fisher deal. Turn it on. And I quit. Once I turn it on, it's like you get it all, and you have to find out how to turn the other off. And the good folks at Yar, it was like, "Nah, don't worry about it. We'll go through 5 seconds and skip it." No, I don't want to suck Satan's cock, whether I know it's coming or not. I don't want nothing to do with that scaly thing. I would like what we do here, and by here I mean here on Mondays and Wednesdays, and on the Britishers channel on Fridays, with the common sense guy, the Britisher, and the laughing ogre. I want what we do here to be untainted by anything. Our number one thing is that we don't taint each other. And let me expound on that a little bit. In other words, that I don't pressure the Britisher in such a way that things that he wants to bring up, he's like, "Well, really, if I bring up that topic, Mr. Ogre will cut me off incessantly and be the priggish American colonist that he really is. Posh and bosh, Boston Tea Party all over again." Oh, I have to work on that. That's my problem, is there's some topics that when they come up, my co-hosts have a difficulty because the ogre's getting all fucking feelsy about it. Hell, I got called out about it a week or two ago. Called out. It's like, "Oh, I got triggered." Who was that? Bread Moth? One of y'all out there was like, "Oh, he got triggered. Britisher triggered him." To be fair, to be honest, yeah. I was getting a little crazy. Britt gets crazy. We all get crazy. What we need to have is an environment where a common sense guy can say whatever he wants to say, not worried about a sponsor, and least of all worried about what his co-hosts may think. Because I mean, people say it about me, but whatever, common sense. So we're supposed to look at common sense any different because of what do we look at? As opinions are given, what do we do? Pull up the respective channels and look at the number of likes, dislikes, and subs, and base it on that? Well, it's fuck me. Britisher would win every argument, and Lord knows he can't. No. He don't win every argument. It's merit-based. So let me go back to what I'm talking about here. And I need to look at some of your comments. Some drunk redneck, just seeing you showed up here. Memes of destruction. What a great fella, man. Welshmert stories. Always just a wonderful, wonderful guy. Of course, Will Fisher showing everybody up in throwing your beloved busker, the ogre, a couple quid. What a fucking guy. What a just a stand-up guy. What a just unbelievable. Look, I'm done kissing his butt. People are going to go. I can almost imagine Captain Colepile coming out. I did 2 videos with Lionel Nation. And the second one, Colepile come on my comment section was like, Hey there, Mr. Ogre. Think you ought to get off his jock strap? That was my best West Virginia accent. Probably not very good. But so let me get focused here. I want to have a little fun. And what I'm going to do is after I'm done with my rant, when I know that I have 20 minutes left that I'll be willing to be on air, I'm going to send this out there, right there. And if anybody wants to come, usually there are no takers. But if anybody wants to come in, ask any questions of me, or I can't really answer questions, obviously, about the common sense guy or Britisher. I could try, though. That might even be fun. You can come on in, make a statement. There may be something that you've wanted to say to me, to one of the boys about one of our ideas. There might be something. So let me get back to it. Listen. I'll be damned if I am ever going to willingly and knowingly suck Satan's cock. I don't want any part of it. I will say it again. I think it's a wonderful thing. Oh, there's Captain Copa. I think it's a wonderful thing that the adpocalypse has come around, and now folks that don't know that's what they would be doing, they don't even have the option anymore. It takes the easy way out. It's broke us up into two parties that you can easily disseminate. On the one hand, you have the Steve Shives, the makeup videos, makeup, not like makeup getting back together, but makeup videos and how-to video, the crazy Russian hackers. And you have these. Yes, fine. There's a place for them. And yes, they're the easy way out. Whether crazy Russian hacker likes it or not, he's got his shit monetized. They're selling soap and Coca-Cola. He's sucking Satan's cock. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I do not care. I don't care if anybody. The minute, because Captain, I just seen you came in here, Captain Colepile. The minute Captain Colepile puts a Pepsi Cola banner on the side of his skid loader for loading coal and starts waving a flag that says Doritos, Captain, you know what I mean? I'm like the rest of us, he does chooses not to do that. Does it make every Satan's cocksucker evil? No, I'm not really saying that either. I'm not saying that every single person that has been Weinsteined by the devil himself, and before they knew it, they were on their knees in a back room somewhere with a big, giant, scaly pecker down their throat and in their stomach. No, but some of them aren't there. They didn't, just like they're victims. You know what I mean? But now we know. Now we see there's another way. There is an alternative. What is that alternative? Listen. If you enjoy this, myself, I'm talking to me, Britisher, common sense guy, Uzulu, it goes on and on. Sargon of Akkad. I know he makes good money. I know this is his living, but if you love it, if you really stand for something and have some kind of cause, no matter how small or large it may be, Captain Copile, you just fucked me up, man. Just blew my daggone train of thought. I read everything. It doesn't pay enough, Captain Copile. So look, do I look down on folks that even now are trying to clean up what they do so the adpocalypse doesn't? And I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, in my heart, I do. It's hard for me not to. As it stands right now, the three of us collectively, we could split, I don't know, $50, $40 a month based on the ad thing. If we really, really tried to, what would we be? And listen, folks, this is nothing we've discussed. I'm going to make that clear. We have not discussed this amongst the three of us at all. I think it's something we all already know. We understand that there are places we're not willing to go. And one of those places is we're not willing, because look, you folks affect what we say already. I'm not even going to lie about that. Do we self-censor? Absolutely. We talk before the show about what we think will fly with ourselves first and the bar second. I mean, what kind of band would we be, Cole Pile, if we were up here playing whatever fucking song we wanted? Yes, of course you tune us out. We're just down, down on 3 while the conversation is going on in the bar. But we're there and you can hear the tune. So what kind of assholes would we be if we just played whatever old thing? We're at a country western bar and we're playing Metallica. Or we're at a punk rock bar and we're playing Waylon Jennings. Either way, it would be ridiculous. It's not something that any sane person would do. So we self-censor. I hate that word, but that's what we do. We self-censor to a certain extent because we talk about what we're going to bring up on the show, and it goes in order from what we like, what we want, to what the bar will want. And we have to weigh each thing when we're considering this. We can't just say, well, this is what we want, fuck the bar. We can't just say, this is what the bar wants, fuck us. But I'm going to say this before I get into something completely different. Motherfucker. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have managed to do something together. Hey, how you doing, Wood? That I wasn't sure would have been possible, man. And that is we, the Britisher Common Sense Guy, myself, and all of y'all have kept this thing controversial enough. What I'm trying to say is this is the biker bar on the north side of town. This is that Negro bar on the south side. This is that hangout where not everybody could really dig it. Everybody, even with the Britishers' posh, sometimes pompous sounding accent. No, even that considered. This is that seedy pub on the wrong side of town with the, the smelly kind of urine stenchy crap smelling bathrooms with no doors on the stalls and maybe a wee bit of vomit on the floor and a little bit of blood on the dance floor. That's what this really is. We try to keep it as upbeat and as cool, as British as we possibly can. But what it comes right down to is, thank you so much for allowing us to have this venue, to have this unsafe space where the Britisher can say the N-word and nobody's up in arms, because of course he wouldn't say nigger unless it was in context. I almost said N-word again. I've got a firm rule in my head: for every 5th time they have to say N-word, there's number 1, you see, because I just said the real thing. I'm going to because it's like, holy crap, they take these words away from us. I listen to people talk about crackers and honkies, and we should feel bad, white people. I mean, we should feel bad because at one time Jim Crow, and you're forever racist because decades ago slavery. I mean, give me a break. Yeah, and am I getting a little rambly? Of course I am. That's what I do. I'm getting rambly, but I want y'all to remember Bill Hicks was correct. The adpocalypse wasn't all bad. If it hadn't changed, if it would have stayed what it was before, if you didn't sign a contract and people just put stuff over, well, there was a degree of separation there. I'm not even going to lie. But now that it's come right out in the forefront, now that they've drawn a line in the sand and said, there are some ideas, anything conservative, anything pro-gun, anything anti-abortion, anything pro-freedom, anything anti-globalism is no longer, that's it. Those things make it so you're not user-friendly. I don't even like Mark Dice. I don't like the Young Turks, so I'll compare them. You got Mark Dice, you got the Young Turks saying the same thing about the same story. Mark Dice demonetized, Young Turks monetized. You got YouTube talking about, sexualization. Man, go look at the Young Turks crap. Every thumbnail they got's like, it says blowjob or sex and has sexually suggestive stuff in the title. If not, it's race baiting. Hmm. I'll tell you what, folks. It's Samhain today. Just curious. People are typing anyway, so let me ask a question. If there's anything going on tonight in your town, tonight, press 1. And if it's already happened, this is going to be a lot. So if it's already happened, press 2. And if there ain't going to be shit tonight and never was shit, press 3. So in other words, if there has been no parties in your area. So if you're going to a party tonight, or if there's something that you could go to, give me a 1. Let me know. If you've already been to some Halloween party, give me a 2. We got 1. Fugi says already been. And I believe Fugi's in, so 3. Story says 3 for Seamus. So there's 2. And Seamus, aren't you in Scotland? And no Samhain in Scotland. So 3, a bunch. So it's 2. So far, we only have 2 1s. The majority right now, you can see it for yourself. The majority are 3s. Now, there ain't no party in my area. We don't give a shit. And Seamus is in Denmark. We don't care. We're not doing it. And it's just not happening. You live in Dubai. Oh, my goodness, Wood. I'm going to be very careful with what I say to you from now on. I don't want you arrested and thrown in jail for talking to the ogre. Oh, my gracious, Dubai. I mean, it's a cool place and all, but it seems more and more... Yeah, it's going from a cool place to a place where you have to really consider and think about what you say and do, or they may come and put you in jail. There's that one. Oh man, I'm not even going to go into it. I'm really not. I'm going to use this as an example of self-censorship. And because I now know that Wood lives in Dubai, I'm going to take this as an opportunity not to talk about some of the strange and wonderful things that I've heard coming from that strange and wonderful place. They do have the Burj Khalifa. Isn't that what it's called? The Burj Khalifa? I always think of Mia Khalifa, the Burj Khalifa, because Mia Khalifa. Anybody know who Mia Khalifa is? Man. Anyway, I mean, I only seen her picture a couple times. It's not like I don't know what she does for a living, that Mia Khalifa, but she's something. Oh Lord, am I in the weeds now? You know what's going to happen, folks. I really want to have a little bit more of a talk. It's no mistake. It's no mystery, Captain Colepile. I love Lionel Nation. He's even getting a little partisan on me. And some folks might say you're partisan, Captain Colepile or Welshmere Stories. People may see both you boys in different ways, are partisan. But you boys are not militant about it. I don't know how else to say it. You can have a leaning one way or the other, but not just be a militant jerk off. You know, you don't have to be the guy or gal that is there like, communism, Marxism, you fucking Nazi. Or you don't have to be the guy that's there like, oh, Sig Heil, white power, alt-right, whatever. I mean, I'm watching these guys, and Augustus Invictus, he's pretty good. Even though that fucking guy, I mean, it's hard to believe that in this day and age, white supremacy is a thing, and there are white supremacists, but it's so overplayed by the Black Lives Matter stuff. Oh man, I was in a ding dong on Twitter yesterday. Well, yesterday was Black Tuesday for those of you that don't know, South Africa, and I was in a little ding. The guy was, I mean, people don't even dig it. Racism is a real thing. Here's the news flash. It's not just fucking whites that are racist. Are there some? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not. Are there some racist blacks? Yes. And if you're going to use the example that you can't be racist because you don't have the power and you're the minority, well, that works here in the United States. But in South Africa, if you're white, if you're an Afrikaans, you're in the drastic minority. According to that logic, the white folks can't be racist is what I'm saying. And I got this moron telling me on Twitter about how these racist people deserve it. They go and they murder these farmers, man. And for those of you that don't know, Conscious Caracal, a good friend of mine, is an Afrikaans farmer. If I'm mangling that name, I'm sorry. I really, I don't mean it. Whatever. Look at the PC shit's got to the fucking over. What is it? What's the fucking world coming to? What's the fucking world coming to when a motherfucking laughing ogre is worried about what people might think of what he says? Good. Mother fucking sakes alive. I'm going to tell you something. Fucking Bill Hicks was motherfucking correct. That's nothing. Why don't we ever hear any good stories about drugs? He said this. I'm stealing it. I'm not a joke thief. I'm just saying it. Said Bill Hicks was correct. One more thing. No good stories on drugs. It's always like, Jaquan was shot and killed in a heroin exchange gone bad on the north side of Chicago. Maybe the south side, but whatever. On the north side, it'd be more like Jose was shot and killed. Oh, I'm racist. I realize that Mexicans live on the north side and blacks live on the south side of Chicago. What a fucking racist. I'm a fucking racist. Burn me at this. Burn the ogre. It is Samhain. It is fucking, burn the ogre. Burn the burn. People used to do that too, man. It's like unreal. You're breathing and the flames are going, you're screaming, and then suddenly the screams die down because you're sucking in the fire, but the flailing still goes on. And, of course, everybody's just standing around self-righteous. Burn him, burn him, burn her, burn the witch, burn him. Holy fuck. How far away do you think our society is from that? Is anybody here under a delusion that Antifa wouldn't just burn somebody because they voted for Trump? Burn them. I mean it. Like tie them to a stake. The person begging, screaming, no, you got me wrong. I just wanted to change and thought this might help. You racist. I'm not racist. Please just burn them. Because does it matter when you're burning somebody at the stake? Does it matter if they're guilty or not? Fuck no. Salem, witch trials, anyone? Shit, me, don't make a fuck. Doesn't matter to the ones in charge at all. The people in charge seems like want one thing, and that's to remain in charge. I'm starting to wonder about Trump, my damn self. Is he just another one? He's always been in charge. No, he's not a politician. Hadn't been a lifelong politician, but he's been a lifelong boss, man. Is he just trying to just want to stay in charge? Oh, Lord have mercy. So as promised, I'm going to stretch my legs here and play a tune. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, the people that watch Lionel Nation, they watch it. Anybody that you see in Lionel Nation, I know I'll go back to it, but he is the best. He's the best. That's like solo, just goes on, does what I just did just now, like boom, goes on. Hi, I'm Lionel Nation, blah, 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 blah. I enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but for me to tell you right now that it was easy, and that I looked down and realized I've been going for somewhere around 35, close to 40 minutes, man. It's something. It takes something. And so anyway, I'm going to take that little leg stretch. When I come back, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send the link out here in the chat. Sometimes I do it before I play a song or two, but what happens is people just come in and they're here hanging about, and it feels weird because I don't stop the music. But let me pick a song here. I'm going to play one because like I already said, it's just a day. It's a day. And so this one right here that I'm going to play is for Captain Coalpile. Keep it coming, brother. We need that heat. We need that light. We need that warmth. We need to be able to see each other. And more than anything, I think it's nice that it's an even exchange, that you want to have a job, and we need all those things. We need warmth. We need electricity and coal, anthracite, the power of fossilized plant and animal matter is just a wonderful, wonderful thing. I'm so glad that we've unlocked the energy key to the point that we have right now. So this is something, it's by a little band called Clutch, and I hope you enjoy The Regulators. Oh, I see that lantern, trim low, burning in our hold. And oh, I feel like crying. I swear tonight I'll cry no more. And how many times have I prayed that I will get lost along the way? Dream with the feathers of angels stuck beneath your head. The regulator, swinging pendulum. Dream with the feathers of angels stuck beneath your head. The regulator, swinging pendulum. Come with me and walk the longest mile. Come with me and walk the longest mile. Is his wallet leather? Is his wallet fat? For not a year later, it's got you lying on your back. You should have closed your windows and got another dog. You should have chained up all the doors and switched up all the locks. And how many times have I prayed the angels will speed me away? Dream with the feathers of angels stuck beneath your head. The regulator, swinging pendulum. Dream with the feathers of angels stuck beneath your head. The regulator, swinging pendulum. Come with me and walk the longest mile. Come with me and walk the longest mile. Come with me and walk the longest mile. Come with me and walk the longest mile.
Love the flow. 69. Now it's time for new, believable people, and we must do it. If we don't control insiders, this will be over and over. To lead by an any big fat love, find common ground to halt the spread of lies. And we must do it big, fat love, find common ground to halt the spread of lies. And any
America first. America first.
non-fatal. We want to build a much better, believable people, and we must do it non-fatal.
Communication very much higher. America first.
To lead it by an edit.
Insiders fighting for insiders.
Time to stop.
Insiders fighting for insiders. More of insiders fighting for insiders.
Time to stop.
Insiders fighting for insiders. America first.
Love the flow.
69. Now it's time for new
Believable.
people.
And we must do it. If we don't control,
Insiders,
this will be over and over. To lead it by an edit. Big, fat love. Find common ground. To hold the spread of lies. And we must do it. Big, fat love. Find common ground. To hold the spread of lies. And edit.
America first. America first. Non-fatal.
We want to build
A much better
believable,
people.
and we must do it.
Non-fatal.
Communication
Very much higher. America first.
to lead it by an edit.
Insiders fighting for insiders.
Time to stop.
Insiders fighting for insiders. More of insiders fighting for insiders.
Time to stop.
Insiders fighting for insiders. America first.
Love the flow.
Well, I didn't give y'all enough time to even answer that, did I? Oh, I was considering I might play one more. It's fun to me. It's definitely the least popular part. I mean, we had some more people were watching. And it's hard to tell. British sure likes to think that you can track who's watching exactly with what's going on. I think sometimes a little bit. But most of the time, no, I don't know. People come and go. They got shit. People got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not like somebody's going to be on YouTube right up your ass the whole time you're doing whatever it is that you do on YouTube. I don't know. It's not the way it goes. Oh man, I'm looking for my vaporizer, and I don't see it. And am I panicking? No, but it's right here. No, I wasn't panicking, but I do enjoy it. It's Jason Blackmore. One more. And I just noticed Jason Blackmore does not have a spanner. We all get spanners here. So what I'm going to do, Jason Blackmore, is just for you. I'm going to play one more that I am going to pick. I want you, Jason Blackmore, to think of one that Jason Blackmore wants to hear. And unless it's something I know will just stop me while I'm playing it, which there are some songs like that people own that just don't want played. I will play that next. So here's my choice first. Blackwell. Jason Blackmore. Jason Blackmore. Mr. Blackmore. This is my choice first. And then if you want, I'll play yours next. I'm going to give you one. I love this jam, man. I just love this tune. The name of the song is called Waves. I challenge anybody to pronounce it as P-E-R-T-T-U. I don't know. But The Waves is the name of the song. And I'll just play it for you. You can look it up. I'll send you a link to it. It's wonderful, man. Enjoy. I'm looking for you. I'm looking at you. Oh, Gay Frogs, I already got it. I got it. So I'm going to do that. And then I got one from Loafer. So there may be as many as 3 songs as I go into, as I go, I'm leaving.
Feel the chills run down your spine, down to your toes. Feather light cleans your soul as we breaks the night. I promise you will be alright. A little bit closer, stand a little bit taller. We can be stronger, carry you like a wave. The wind gets colder, you can lean on my shoulder. We can go for longer, carry you like a wave. I found a haven in your arms, a helping hand close to my heart. Is this better? I need to know. Just promise me we'll be alright. A little bit closer, stand a little bit taller. We can be stronger, carry you like a wave. The wind gets colder, you can lean on my shoulder. We can go for longer, carry you like a wave. You're one in a million. You know, we're just drops in the ocean. Yeah, you're one in a million. You know, we're just drops in the ocean. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Hey, you. Hey, you.
Probably the best request I've ever gotten while I did this crazy thing that I do. So I'm going to go ahead and play this right now. Thank you very much, Black Mer. But the dude, the guy. Thank you. Here you go.
Those are fat eggs, son.
The devil went to Jamaica. He was looking to sell some weed. He was doing fine. They were standing in line. It was excellent weed indeed. When he came across this young man who was likewise peddling pot, and the devil slid down the beach to the kid and said, "Boy, let me tell you what. I guess you kind of figured I'm a reefer head, of course. And after all this time, I guess that I'm a connoisseur of sorts. Now, your stuff smells okay, but this could tranquilize a horse. I'll bet $1 million in cash against your stash because I think mine's better than yours." The boy said, "My name's Johnny, and you ain't smoked nothing yet. One hit of this grass will kick your ass. You got yourself a bet. Johnny, roll a ball of hash and make sure it's the bomb, because the devil's got the kind of stuff they smoked in Vietnam. You'll get $1 million smackaroos in cash if you can cope, but if you can't, the devil will get your dope." The devil packed a bong with a little Acapulco gold, and resin flew from his fingertips as he fired up his bowl. He filled that chamber all the way, and he took a mighty hit. As they passed it back and forth, it gave them both a coughing fit. When the bowl was finished, Johnny said, "Hey, man, that stuff was great, but fill your lungs with some of this and prepare to vegetate. Cannabis, sativa, sweet Mary Jane. The devil's in the backyard crying his brains. Zigzag filled with a diggity dank. Hold on tight, it'll hit you like a tank." The devil nodded off because he knew that he was stoned, and he asked if he could buy an ounce of the stuff that Johnny owned. Johnny said, "Devil, just come on back if you ever want to catch a buzz. I done told you once, you son of a bitch, mine's the best there ever was." And they fired up doobies one by one. Ain't I gonna stop till the bag is done. Green as a bullfrog, sticky as glue. Brandy, do you get high? Yes, I do.
I about messed that up. That was so good. But I'm going to play one more. I've got a request, and this request is definitely A-OK. Nothing could be said about it. You know, I've noticed that this particular person, it's he's been using a lot of the parodies of himself you know, to sell his products. He's actually got the, you know, the bone broth, the bone broth, the bone broth, bone broth. He's using that in his broadcast to sell Caveman. It's so funny. So I'm probably going to do a twofer here, Alex Jones craziness, and then I'll get back to talking a little shit. Because one thing for sure, the Britisher may not always be right, but I can see when I start playing the music, folks, they get the hell out. Why it looks like people would rather hear me blither on, just drone on about shit. I don't know, but whatever. Once again, all I can say is from the bottom of my ogreish belching heart, thank you. So enjoy this. This is funny. And you know what? It's only 2 minutes and 16 seconds long. So before I play the Alex Jones, I'm actually going to play a little bit from Carlin. You'll only see me or other memes and stuff I put up. You won't see George Carlin. I don't want to get busted in that way. So who was this? Will Fisher? This was a request, also very good choice. Here you go.
Boogie Jig. Now I probably got some other group pissed off at me because I said fruit. There's a different group to get pissed off at you in this country for everything you're not supposed to say. Can't say fruit, can't say faggot, can't say queer, can't say Nancy boy, can't say pansy. Can't say nigger, boogie, jig, jigaboo, skinhead, jungle bunny, mooly, moulignon, or schwarzer. Can't say yid, heeb, zeeb, kike, maki, dago, guinea, wop, ginzo, greaser, greaseball, spick, beaner, oye, tiger, PR, mick, donkey, turkey, limey, frog, squarehead, kraut, jerry, hun, chink, jap, nip, slope, slopehead, zip, zipperhead, gook. There is absolutely nothing wrong. There is absolutely nothing wrong with any of those words in and of themselves. They're only words. It's the context that counts. It's the user. It's the intention behind the words that makes them good or bad. The words are completely neutral. The words are innocent. I get tired of people talking about bad words and bad language. Bullshit. It's the context that makes them good or bad. The context that makes them good or bad. For instance, you take the word nigger. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the word nigger in and of itself. It's the racist asshole who's using it that you ought to be concerned about. We don't care when Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy say it. Why? Because we know they're not racist. They're niggers. Context. Context. We don't mind their context because we know they're black. Hey, I know I'm Whitey, the blue-eyed devil, patio, fake, gray boy, honky motherfucker myself. Don't bother my ass. They're only words. You can't be afraid of words that speak the truth, even if it's an unpleasant truth, like the fact that there's a bigot and a racist in every living room on every street corner in this country. I don't like words that hide the truth. I don't like words that conceal reality. I don't.
Holy crap. Thank you for that. I'm going to go on to 2 more tunes, and then I'll do a wrap-up. No one has swung in, and that's cool. To each their own. So I've got plenty of hot air I can blow. I've got to say, I'd have to look back in the chat now, but whoever it was that sent that one, they're only words, man. And God rest his soul in hell, because you know when George Carlin died, Oh, he went straight to comedian heaven, which is also known as hell. So enjoy these next couple tunes. This is like Gay Frogs, and I'll probably play the Bone Broth, and we'll do a little chin wagging. So good on that. George Carlin, I miss you.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap, gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay. Frogs. And we're not. Won't you fight for your life? Gay frogs, friggin' frogs. I don't like a frog. Gay friggin' frogs. Frogs. Friggin' frog crap. Won't you fight the frogs? It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Frogs. And we're not getting what humans always thought was key, the bone broth. 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 Well, now it's the next level of that. It's caveman. Hey, I need a glass of caveman. Caveman. Man, it's better than Ovaltine. Better than Ovaltine. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Caveman is just over the top. What in the world? But now with the milk, I was like, whoa, this has milk in it. Whoa. It tastes like good. Man, this tastes so good. Tastes like the best milkshake ever. It tastes like Ovaltine. It tastes like Ovaltine. It tastes like Ovaltine. Like good. It tastes like Ovaltine. It tastes like Ovaltine. It tastes like Ovaltine. Like good. Whoa. This is
Antifa are allowed to run riot and nothing is done about them. Sooner or later, someone is going to come along and claim to fill that void. And then, of course, we did get our based stickmen and various other people who arrived in order to be the knights in shining armor to stop such things from happening. Because the moment you abandon your streets to the thugs, you might as well kiss your entire state, your entire country, possibly your entire future goodbye. You cannot allow for a situation where either people try to topple the order or other people stand in their way claiming to fight on behalf of it, who are self-appointed. I mean, when it came to Charlottesville, very worryingly, we even had, was it, I'm not sure what they were calling themselves, was it the Oath Bearers or something like that? And I mean, they were actually heavily armed. And you just wonder...
Oath Keepers, Brett, Oath Keepers.
What would have happened if push would have come to shove? With a kind of self-appointed army street, that's where you sort of think, no, that is not their role. Of course, America is a country in which in certain states you have the right to bear arms and whatever. Once you set yourself up as an organized force, that is when you're actually challenging the order. And we have to remember that for all the talk of states and our fear of their power, we need to remember that in the end, they are, after all, supposed to be representing us. And when it comes to situations like that, we do need those who represent us up and do something. And if that requires some people being sent home with bloodied foreheads, well, then so be it. Because this is taking an ugly turn. And if it isn't, if it isn't stepped on pretty soon, this is going to get much, much worse. We can look at Charlottesville and say, well, okay, to a certain extent, it's been sensationalized. There weren't really that many people. True, there weren't really that many people. But there were a great many people in Hamburg. So we know how big it can get. The problem is, if it can get that scale, and you have opposing forces, that's when it can get really ugly. And history warns us quite significantly about those things. I mean, ironically, in ancient Rome, you know, my favorite reference point, we did have two mob leaders. One was Claudius. This is why it's ironic. The other one was called Milo. And one represented the left and the other one represented the right. And they were effectively in cahoots with the politicians at the time. But it got completely out of hand. That basically, once you unleash these demons, you can't put them back in the box again. So effectively, the only way that Rome was brought to order was that Pompey the Great had to march into Rome with his legions and reinstate order. And I don't think that's necessarily what we want. So I think while one can, one should knock the Claudiuses and the Milos on the head and get this thing under control while one still can. And if that takes violence, and it will take violence, then so be it. But then one needs to remember that the violence is actually being exacted on your behalf by those people who are supposed to be doing it. And that is not some ominous state power which immediately needs to be questioned. Sometimes the state actually is a force for good. And I think when we see things like Charlottesville, we ought to remember that. Anyway, that's all for me.
Well, I got to say that I ended with that for a reason. The Britisher makes some good points in that speech he gave. He made such good points that the conscious clerical gleaned the points from our live stream, and that was the conscious clerical's work that I just displayed. The Britisher's ideas, but with the conscious clerical placing his image superimposed over the insanity that was the Berkeley riots. And we're talking about a guy with the conscious clerical that understands insanity, folks. We're talking about an Afrikaans from the heart of the south of Africa, a man that loves his country, the dirt. He told me he loves the dirt, the soil he stands on. He's just as African as the darkest Zulu. he would stand next to that Zulu and fight the British invaders. I seem to remember the Afrikaans gave the British holy hell. Much more than Shaka Zulu and all his warriors. So I ended with that for a reason. And I want to, I want to make an appeal to everyone that can hear me right now, but it isn't, I'm not going to be disingenuous, folks. It's an emotional appeal. I want to appeal to your logic, but to a lesser degree than I want to appeal to the heart of you at the moment. Is racism a problem right now? If so, who bears the brunt of the racism in the United States of America? Think about these things. Do I want everybody to be Colin Flattery and, go out? Look, he's got his place. We need folks like Colin, and we need folks like Atheism is Unstoppable, even because of the things that they bring to light. They bring to bear on this insane idea that racism can only be perpetrated by white folks. It's nuts. It's crazy. It's very difficult for me to agree with sometimes we need the state. That was what the British heard. You just heard him. But not only is he not here to defend himself, so I'm not trying to turn this in. This is obviously not a takedown of my co-host, but I want to make a point as gently as I can without him here. We need the state. It should be taken with trepidation. Listen, we have all of these folks telling us that Black Lives Matter, cops are so terrible. Then you interview them. It's like, what do you think about handguns? Oh, no, it should be just restrictions. Nobody should be able to buy a handgun, but the cops should have them. So do you think cops are racist? Well, we're Black Lives Matter. So you think the cops are racist? Yes, the cops are so racist. They kill black people indiscriminately. But you think that only the police should have guns? Well, of course. Yes. What? Oh. Ooh. What am I saying? I just sounded, stupid. Yes, Black Lives Matter. You sound stupid. Yeah. Anyone that says cops are biased or racist, that police, the posse comitatus, the ones that are there supposed to be, that they're racist, but they're the only, come on. Listen, if a woman's going to die because she's going to have a baby, well, abort the baby. That couldn't be considered a crime. At-will abortions, okay. Seems to promote the wrong message. I'm not going to go into it more than just to say that. Seems to promote the wrong message. Remember, what we subsidize, we encourage. Guns are horrible. Take them away. When grandma getting her purse snatched, doesn't matter. It could be 82, hobbling home from bingo. Just won the jackpot that night. You got $2,500 in your purse. Could be a gang of four thugs come around the corner. Even if they're armed, at least if Granny's got a gun, there is some semblance of equality there. There's an old saying that God did not create all men equal. Samuel Colt made them equal. Because the Colt 45 is the great equalizer. And of course, it's like, oh, well, ogre, you got a tiny little pecker. I think you can find it online. It's not tiny. And oh, I'm 6'1". I weigh more than I should weigh. I'm a big, massive, nasty mammal. It's got nothing to do with wanting to, the idea of now the equalizer, because no matter how tough I think I am, how tough am I when confronted with four highwaymen? I'm no tougher than the 82-year-old woman I just spoke of. No tougher. We're on an equal playing ground. That's why Samuel Colt made us all equal. Am I being gratuitous right now? Yes, I am. I don't have my co-hosts on right now. I'm not even sure how each one of them would lean exactly. I have a pretty good idea, but whatever. No, I'm being gratuitous. Don't bring up abortion to me every time guns are brought up, because what you were saying is, because I'm a gun owner, I'm a murderer. No, everyone that has condoned an abortion that was unneeded, nothing wrong with the mother, nothing wrong with the baby could be given for adoption. It's not about forcing a woman to have a child to give. No, it's about this person has made a decision to either murder a would-be life or not. I don't want to hear anything else. There is nothing else. It's not even, and if there is something else in your mind, well, you're deciding to say that murder is okay. Have it, wear it, own it. I don't, that's you. I am me, and a lot of things that I do, people disagree with and think are horrible. So, and I'm me, I'm going to be me. One of those horrible things could be just what I just said. Everybody has their own opinion, and they're welcome to it. That is theirs. But on this Samhain, on this All Hallows Eve, on this most sacred of ceremonial nights, you ever ask yourself, all these Christians, man, myself included, but I don't celebrate. But all these Christians, they're out there and they're like, oh, devil worshipers, if you listen to rap or rock and roll, and devil worshipers, devil, oh, the devil. But yet things like Halloween and Christmas are there. Halloween is Samhain, a pagan holiday. Christmas is Saturnalia, a pagan holiday. We get there was a melding of these things. It's not even up for debate. I mean, I'm not even saying that to debate with anybody. And I haven't even looked at the chat. Y'all are probably all telling me right now that I'm just a stupid moron. I should end the stream, right? It's like, Ogre! I can hear the British right now. Really, Mr. Ogre? Going from guns and abortion to the observance of holidays, sir? Bosh, shut up, Ogre. And it's like, well, I have to shut your mouth, sir. No need for him to become a British. I just have, no, sir, no more. Won't have it, sir. I just have one more thing to say. Can I please? Well, I'll allow one more small idea, Mr. Ogre. Being a wonderful holiday that comes from my island. Samhain, it comes. Thank you, Brett. Thank you. Carry on. Crack on, sir. Oh, thank you. Well, all I'm saying is the nonsense. It's nonsense. We should all be able to be ourselves. We should be able to celebrate what we want, do what we want, enjoy the things we want to enjoy. There's nothing. Oh, okay, here we go. So I just seen something from Princess Buttercup. I'll do it. She's going to come in here and cuss me out, but I'll do it. I was about ready to leave, too. There you go, Buttercup. I'll talk to me about abortion. Swing on in, man. Swing on in. The only thing I would say is please be civil. I'll be civil with you. But if you have some ideas, you can swing on in, and we can talk about them. Can consider the different sides of the coin. We can ponder the mysteries of that type of thing. And I won't be there too much longer. I can't even believe I just did that. It's like, I guess it's like the patriarchy coming to bite me in the rump, because it's like all of a sudden I feel like, wow, I just said that. Now I have to give Buttercup a platform to say what she says because she's a female. Huh. Hey, how you doing, sweet thing?
I'm actually at work. I'm waiting. I have time between when I got off work and this meeting that I have to go to. So I have to keep it civil anyway because
No. Say your piece then, whatever it is that you wanted to say, and I will not remark, so that you can just have your say.
Well, I was just gonna say. I mean, I saw your argument on Twitter when you were talking about abortion and stuff, and each person has their own viewpoint on it. It's just the way that I look at it. We have 7.5 billion people on this planet. And we don't have the resources to comfortably handle the population that we currently have of human beings. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are starving to death, who don't have homes, who don't have families, who don't have anyone who cares about them, who, they're pushed into these systems. These people are like, oh, well, every life is precious, every life is sacred, and then they just get thrown out onto the streets and nobody cares about them. Nobody, you know, I don't understand, I guess, what the big deal with abortion is. Look, if bottom line is this, if you know you can't care for a kid, you know you don't want to have a kid, and you know the only surefire way not to get pregnant is complete abstinence, but that goes against human nature. We are programmed to, for the most part, feel the need to experience, you know, and I don't see any more value in a human life than I do in the life of, say, a puppy. But thousands and thousands of dogs are put down every year because they can't find them a good home. And I understand that, you know, humans are supposed to be more evolved or whatever, but when you get right down to the nitty gritty, the only reason that humans became as evolved as we did is because our, you know, ancestor way back when had the right kind of diet to allow his brain to grow bigger than the other monkeys, you know. I mean, that's basically what it boils down to. We had the advantage of having a diet that allowed us to get the bigger brains, and we evolved more as a species. Our lives are not more valuable than any other. And to the point where they conduct abortions, which is up to, I think, the first 3 months, that life, in my opinion, is no more valuable than, I don't know, a stomach parasite. And you would take medicine if you didn't want to have a stomach parasite. And up to that point,
I love you, Buttercup. Continue. I'm not trying to cut you off. I love you're as brutally honest on your side as I am on mine. So carry on. I love the analogy too. I'm not even fucking with you. Love the analogy. Stomach parasite. Carry on.
Well, I mean, okay, but think about it. Up to the first 3 months or so, that's what a fetus is. A fetus is essentially a stomach parasite. I mean, not a stomach parasite, but you understand. It's a parasite. It feeds off the host, takes its nutrients off the host. As far as I can tell, gives very little in return for the first 3 months.
Nothing in return the whole pregnancy.
Right.
It is a parasitical relationship.
No
way
around.
Exactly. It's not symbiotic. It's not a symbiote.
I mean, there are some women who say, you know, oh, well, you know, it makes me feel happy and stuff, but that's it. Anyway, there are certain parasites that can control their host, and I mean, humankind is one. And actually, have you heard that, did you hear about the one thing where men who get blood transfusions from women are more likely to die, like women who've been pregnant, they're more likely to die afterwards because the immune system in, like, I don't know how to explain it, but anyway, human body, weird. But the thing of it is, like, you would get rid of a stomach parasite. You would take the medicine necessary to flush it out of your system if you didn't want to have it, of course. I just fail to assign what is basically a parasite more value, one parasite more value than another. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, they say, oh, well, it's developing a heartbeat or a brain. Okay, so, I mean, that fish that you ate had a heartbeat and a brain the other day.
Well, and a tick that is attached to you also has a heartbeat and a brain. Is, you know, it's relying on you for,
You're going to pluck its little head off and pluck its body off of you. Right. So, what's the difference? I understand, you know, I'm not for late-term abortions. Like, you've had 5-6 months to think about it and you're just now deciding? No. But within the first 3 months, what's the issue? It's nothing. It's a clump of cells. And it I don't know. That's my piece on it. But I mean, it really, like, we're at a point in our time where we need to be responsible for our population.
Yeah, well, I agree. And I'm not going to keep you. I can hear the people there. And so I'm glad you came by. I don't even know if I'll comment much more on the abortion topic after you leave, because we've now gotten two really good ideas on both sides. And I'm not busting your balls, Princess.
No, you're fine.
I mean, the way I look at it is if a lady gets pregnant, a woman, a girl gets pregnant, whatever, gets pregnant, and she says what you say, man, it's hard to make an argument against that logically. It really is. Now, I still would only put this in something. And of course, there's this thing in Alabama, like, oh, you got to tell if it's a rape. No. But if the female is pregnant by a male and the male is not a rapist, he should have some, in my mind, he should have some say. And I dig it. The best, and you got the best argument, is that he's not the one that has to carry it. It's just the idea of two things coming together, and that the fruition would be a puppy or a kitty or a baby. Because I agree. I mean, it's a life. And so that's, I guess, if anything, that would be the hill that I would stand on, would be to say, fine, because it happened to me. I mean, look, I shouldn't even have went there. It did, though. And I didn't have a say. I actually paid for the abortion. I paid for it, when I was 19. And I did. I paid for the abortion to happen. But in the end, I wouldn't have had a say, and a chick that I really liked at the time would have had that debt on them. See what I mean? So anyway, there's so much to be said, but I dig this. Don't be fucking pussy about it. At least if that's your stance, make your stance. Be serious about it. Be logical, which you were. Because even Antifa now they're coming out with the pedos, and they're saying, don't bash the pedos. So at least own what someone is. And look, I'm not trying to equate you or I with pedophiles, obviously. I'm just saying that we should all own. And I think Buttercup, do you think it's easy or not a little bit intimidating for me to give my opinion on Twitter where everybody can see it about abortion?
Oh, I'm sure it is.
That sucks. It's terrifying. I mean, I don't want Wolfshot, like she's an example. And she was giving me, but I want my opinion to be heard. I don't want her to hate me or you or anybody else to hate me because of my opinion. I know one thing. Roe versus Wade should not be overturned. That's all I'm going to say. Now, on-demand abortion, I almost have some problems with that, but I do believe if I'm going to support heroin being legal, I have to stand up for abortion. Now, all we can hear is the rock and roll music. I'm going to cut you loose, girl, because I'm going to wrap this right up. Butter, okay. give me your last words. Happy Samhain, girl. You look great. I like the ears. Hope that you have a lot of fun. Don't drink and drive. Get some stupid dude to drive you home, and get real drunk and have a good time.
Oh, I already did the partying this weekend. Oh, last weekend. But now I'm just wearing the ears because I was at work all day and it's Halloween. But
what do you do? Do you work in the restaurant you're in?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Just curious. So
yeah.
you're a bartender?
No.
Okay. In fact, I'm not going to grill you anymore. I'm just curious.
No, you're fine.
Cool.
Last thoughts are, I do have one rebuttal to what you said. I do believe that guys should get a say, and I think your day is coming because science is working on an artificial womb, in which case, if you're that worried about it, you get yourself a nice artificial womb implanted in your body, and then we can do in vitro fertilization, and you can carry the kid. And then you have all the say in what happens to it. But I mean, it will happen. They're working on it. And then, you get all the say that you want in it because you're going to be the one who, will birth it.
You know what, Buttercup? Fuck the boys I work with. I'm just going to ask you now. Hopefully, we always like to have a female on with us when we have like a big guest on. It's always good to have the female touch there. I hope that Amanda Wolfchild will be there, and I hope that you would also next time we have a guest. It may be tomorrow. I'll give you a little DM tonight without making it uncomfortable. I think you ever heard a wide smile?
No.
Oh, he'll be on tomorrow. Great YouTuber, man. Really, really cool. But you know what, Butter? I'm going to cut you loose now, girl. Thank you so much for your views, your rebuttals. They're always second to none. I would never unfriend you on Twitter purposely. I'm sorry about that mishap. And you're actually one of the, like, probably, I'm going to say tops is 7. You're one of, like, probably 7 people that are following or friends or whatever that are actually I like. So I'm glad you fixed that up for me, girl. God
hurt
bless
the one
you.
Fifi that I have left.
Yeah, I was
That
like, holy
hurt.
fuck. I felt bad too. It wasn't because I looked and it still had your same name, the @ thing. I was like, oh man, why don't you just look at that? But if you notice, I did go, in my defense, I went from following like 280 to now I think I'm 82 or 84. I mean, I just went through the list and was like, why am I? Because of my news feed, I couldn't keep up with it. But I want your feed. God bless you, girl. Have a great night. Let me say my last piece and I'm going to haul ass. You look great, sweetie. Love that kid, man. What a good girl. I'm going to say one more time before I cut out. What I love about that is it's unapologetic. She's not apologizing for her opinion. She said, listen, I'm a woman, and you could hear it in her voice. As a woman, she was telling us, you want me to let something grow? Man, when I hear it like that, as much as I want the man to have a complete say, 50% at least, you know, the overriding vote, just like the female seems to have, I have to admit this. The best case scenario would not be if he had a uterus and had to carry it, like Butter just said. Would be because if we had that technology, of course, it could be like Brave New World, you know, praise the bottle. All hail the bottle. Any nerds know what the fuck I'm talking about with that? But it could be like Brave New World. And you could grow that baby, you know, not Bachnoskify. What was that? Anyway, they could grow the baby and it could be born, but not have to be, come on, look, don't call me a fucking SJW if you want, right after you suck my cock. All I'm going to say is that she makes a good point. You know, I'm not the one in the end. Holy fuck, it's hard for me to even say this. I feel like Steve Shives, but I'm saying I'm not the one in the end that has to carry it in my belly. I feel like the British are smiling at me right now because I know he would say that, right? I mean, come on. In the end, even though the male should have a say, I just hope that science will give us other options because there is a big problem. I said it in that tweet, you know, and Wolfshot, man, she was coming. I hope she, you know, whatever. I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm going to have my say. I'm not going to lie. You know, there is a huge need for babies. What a strange topic on Samhain. There's a huge need for babies. You bind them, the babies. You bind the human babies in duct tape and toss them onto a bed of heaping hot coals. And while they writhe and scream and try to get out of the duct tape and burn and roast alive, you read the signs in their death. Samhain, you know, the real Halloween. And I mean, we've come, at least all I can say is, was there a reason for that craziness? Yes. All I can say is that we've come so far that we have that difference. We have that choice. Oh, Mrs. Ogre's walking in, and it's the end, man. It's the end of this whole deal. It's been fun. It's been a good time. But we're going to enjoy. I think she got pizza. And we're going to eat pizza. So be good to your friends. Be good to your family members. Be good to your loved ones. Be quick to say you're sorry. Be even quicker to accept an apology, especially when that thing your friend, family member, or loved one has done seems to be so huge you'll never be able to forget about it. Because, constant viewer, at a time you think not, your friends, your family members, your loved ones, your life, and your cause will depart from you. Hey, look. I'm going to go have some Halloween pizza. Peace.